Welcome to the 32 team. At this point, we are in 2014 fantasy world. Um, 2014 32 team franchise. We are here. It's week 9. We are halfway through the 2014 season. If all things go well, this will be my last season on Madden 20. Looking to get through this season relatively quickly. Uh, these next 10 weeks or so, I'm going to be tight on I'm not gonna have a lot of time. Yeah, school is starting. I start school the 28th. Football starts this upcoming week. We have practice every day. We have a game on Friday. Just got back from vacation, so it's been hectic. There's not a lot of time today. I have a lot of time. I did nothing all day except play Madden. I got 2 weeks done. Did some damage control. But here we are, halfway through the year, and we're just gonna do a whole entire league review. Um, just look at everything, stats, scores, everything. Like literally everything. We're gonna look at team stats. Is halfway. I'm also gonna do one after. I don't know if I'll actually do one post the season, but here we go. This is it. So we will start. Well, I'm not gonna review week 8 because I don't do videos for weeks anymore. It's a waste of time. Nobody watches them. I don't even watch them. And it's easier just to put it all in text. So we're going to start here just by checking out the league standings. We'll go by division by division. We'll start in the AFC. So right now, the leaders of the AFC North are the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Bengals have, in the 2.5 seasons, have been in the playoffs every year. Um, they were a game away from the Super Bowl last season. They were in the AFC Championship. As you can see, it's a pretty good team. They are 6-2 at top of their division. Andy Dalton is playing some really good football, but we'll get into that later. So I'm not going to talk a lot about statistically, but it's a pretty good team. They could do some damage come the playoffs. They've done damage the past 2 years. And Andy Dalton entering his third or fourth season now. I think this team can really, really, in a relatively weak AFC, in my opinion, um, I think they could put together a run. After that, you have the Ravens. The Ravens started out 0-3 on the year. They are now 4-4. They just went on a 4-game win streak. They lost in week 8 against the Chargers. So they are now 4-4, but after an 0-3 start, that's promising. They're looking a lot better. Looking a lot better. A team that could sneak into the playoffs. And, they have the experience. They have Flacco. They have a lot of guys on that team that are good. Had a slow start. Had a slow start last year, too. We'll see if they can pick it up and maybe sneak into the playoffs. But the wild card. I think the AFC doesn't have a lot of teams that can win the Super Bowl. But it's tough because there are a lot of teams that have a chance at the playoffs. But I don't think a lot of these teams are Super Bowl contenders. The Ravens are a team that if they get in, they could make some noise, just like Cincy. Then you have Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is 3-5. They're 3-5 with the backup quarterback. Big Ben is hurt. I think he played the first two, maybe the first 1 or 2 games. But they were 3-5. Big Ben. The Pittsburgh is currently on a bye this week. So next week they'll be back against the Broncos, and that is Big Ben's first game back. Um, they're 3-5. A lot of close games they lost because right now Jamie Clausen, their starting quarterback, is second in the league in interceptions. He hasn't even played every single game, so it's not a good look. Quarterback plays him back. They just got Le'Veon Bell back last week, who had a monstrous game. But Pittsburgh, we know what they are. They have Mike Tomlin. He has won a Super Bowl. This team was in the Super Bowl only a couple years ago against the Packers. We know they can get their team that if they get in once again, they have the experience. If they can get in, they're a team to watch out for. They got in last year, but ran into the Colts, who went on a miraculous run and won the Super Bowl. But never count out Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger. That's for sure. Then you get to the Browns, who just got their first win of the season. They were on bye last week. They just traded former first-round pick Trent Richardson to the Lions, so they now have 2 first-round picks this upcoming year. They might end up with the first overall pick. But yeah, they're 1-6. The same old Browns. Mark Trestman's on the hot seat. He has 5 wins in the 2 games. I think he's 5-18, so not great, not good. Actually, it's really bad. Um, Brian Hoyer has regressed from last year, where he had a terrific season. So they're 1-6. They are one of the worst teams in the NFL, if not the worst. They're not the worst. I think there are. I think they're the third worst. I think there's two teams that are way worse. Well, I mean, they're only win this teams, but that's AFC North. Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. AFC South, where the defending champions Colts stand at 6-1 on a six-game win streak after dropping to the Patriots to start the year. They are 6-1. They are good. Offensively, they're not great. Andrew Luck, I think, only has like 9 passing touchdowns, but when you're missing your best receiver in Kobe Fleener, the number one of the best tight ends in the league, and he's out for the year, it's tough. Obviously your passing game is going to take a hit, but they are 6-1 and they're looking to repeat as champions. Then you have Houston, who's last year won this division. They were 13-3, the 2 seed in the AFC, but they're 4-4, so they will not match that 13-3 record. They won't be better. They've dropped 2, including the last one of the Titans, but they're a good team. Geno Smith is having kind of a sophomore slump. It's just his rookie season was so amazing that it's hard not to have a sophomore slump in quotation marks. Um, but yeah, they are a good team that might get into the playoffs. Tennessee is 3-4. They had the number one overall pick last year. I think they had 2 wins. They have 3 wins already under Leslie Frazier and Carson Palmer. We have not seen rookie Derek Carr yet. David's brother. He was their second round pick, first pick in the second round, and he we haven't seen him yet. He's gotten like his garbage time, but we haven't really seen him yet. We've seen all Carson Palmer. They're 3-4. They're competitive in a lot of games. Chris Johnson has stayed healthy, and they're gonna look to make some noise. They just upset Houston, and they had number one overall pick Jadeveon Clowney is having a really good season, and we'll check that out later. Jacksonville under Chip Kelly 2-5. Colin Kaepernick, not the quarterback they expected when they traded the second round pick for him. His contract is up after this year. It's to be seen if he's going to get an extension because he wants big money, and he doesn't deserve it. That's for sure. So they might have just traded a second round pick for a 1 year rental. That's gonna right now they're 2-5, but Chip Kelly, maybe his plan is to get Marcus Mariota, who he coached at Oregon, who is the top one of the top quarterback prospects in this upcoming draft. AFC East, you have the New England Patriots, who won the Super Bowl 2 years ago against the Eagles. They are 5-2. Offense is bad. Defensively, they are really good. I think they're the second best defense and like the 22nd best offense. So they need to pick up on offense. Was their issue last year? It was their Achilles heel. That's what hurt them. That's what ended up costing them in the long run. But the Patriots, they're dominant. We know what they are. They're 5-2. One of those losses were against the Jets, who are 3-4. They were 3-2. They've dropped 2 in a row to fall to 3-4. Defense is really good. Offensively, they aren't good. Same thing in the whole Rex Ryan era. He's on the hot seat. This might be his last year in New York if he can't. I mean, last year they were 8-8. If they get in the playoffs or they go 9-7, he'll probably stay 8-8 to 9-7. But if this team is double-digit losses, he's probably out. He's probably gone to New York looking for a new job. Tremendous defensive mind though. But as a whole, the Jets are a pretty good defensive league team, and they were 3-4. They did beat the Patriots, so they have potential. Mark Sanchez just turns the ball over too much. We have not seen Jimmy Garoppolo yet. When I Yeah, we have not seen Jimmy Garoppolo yet. So we'll see if we see him somewhere in the season. He was our second round pick, but he is small school, so we'll see how long it takes for him to actually get on the field. You had the Bills, who were 8-8 last year, won the playoffs 2 years ago, but they are not the same team. Ryan Fitzpatrick, who just got traded to the Cowboys, who actually did start last week. I said he wasn't going to start in week 8, but he did start in week 8, and you'll see what he did. He had a pretty damn good game. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, a little fun fact about him. So his first year, he was with the Bills, and they went 10-6 and made the playoffs. Buffalo then drafted DJ Manuel. He started, And Fitzpatrick went to Tennessee, was traded to Tennessee where he was bad. They end up having number one overall pick. He started majority of games there. Then he signed with Chicago this offseason to be the starter. They end up landing Teddy Bridgewater, who in a lot of people's eyes was the best was the best prospect. He's also had the best rookie season. So they get Teddy B, and Teddy B turns out to be their starter. So Fitzpatrick is sitting on the bench. He requested a trade or a cut, and they found a partner with the Cowboys, who's Tony Romo, is out for the year. So he is now the starting quarterback in Dallas over Ryan Nassib, who was started previously. And Dallas is a pretty good team, just poor quarterback play. Unless Ryan Fitzpatrick turns out to be something really good here. But Buffalo is 2-5. EJ Manuel is definitely having a sophomore slump, and Chan Gailey is on the hot seat. Then we have the Dolphins. The worst team in the NFL, in my opinion. They are one of two winless teams. I think they are the worst of the two. They are 0-8. They have an awful offense, an awful defense. First year head coach Rick Dennison, maybe it was not the right hire because it's not looking good. He has not won a game. He's on the older side of head coaches, and he's bringing too many guys from Houston and other, places he's been that he likes rather than trying to win. Like John Skelton right now is starting quarterback. I don't know if that's the best decision. You still have a first round pick of Ryan Tannehill a couple years ago, who has shown some potential. I get it. He does turn the ball over a lot, but maybe they gave up on him. He didn't draft him, but I mean his decision. They're 0-8, and if this team, really does go 0-16, which I don't think is impossible, we could see him be one and done and never be a head coach again. But I think it's possible Miami can go 0-16. AFC West. So this is a stacked division. You have a lot of good teams, but not in we're not. We don't have the 17 playoffs, so not every single one of these teams can make playoffs. Only three of them can at max. That's if no other team gets a wild card. No other division has a wild card. So the Chargers lead it at 6-1 under Mike McCoy. They were in the playoffs last year. Mike McCoy really has this team at good levels. Um, they're a good football team. And then surprisingly you have the Raiders, who are on a 4-game win streak, um, and are 5-2. They are a pretty dang good team. They've won the best offenses in the league. Jay Cutler's having a really good year. Maurice Jones-Drew, two guys they brought over. Lovie Smith coming from Chicago. I bet they wish they had him back, but he has done everything good, and he looks to have the Raiders back in playoff contention at 5-2. Denver, disappointing once again. They just lost to the Colts in Peyton Manning's game. I was in Denver, but it was against the Colts. They lost that in overtime. They're 4-3. Offense is great. Defense is really bad, and that's what's holding them back for the third straight year. They missed the playoffs last year. They've gone 10-6 2 straight years. 10-6 is probably a possible outcome again this season. They need to step it up. Or John Fox is on the hot seat. He has won. He would probably find another job, but Denver has Super Bowl contending roster, and they haven't been able to get past. They haven't even got to the AFC Championship yet, right? Who was the AFC champ? The Ravens. Yeah, they haven't got to the AFC Championship yet. So their only playoff win is against Ryan Fitzpatrick in the Manning era. They're going to be looking for a new head coach if they don't make the playoffs this year or really contend. Then you have the Chiefs under first year head coach Gus Bradley, and they're 4-4. They're 4-0 at home, and they're 0-4 on the road. I'm really good when I play with them, but when the CPU takes control, they always seem to lose. Really good offense, really bad defense. That seems to be the thing with the AFC West. Poor defenses across the board, but we could see 3 or 4 of these teams in the playoffs. So that's the AFC. Take one look at the total AFC. If the playoffs started today, this would be the playoffs. The Colts would be the 1 seed. The Chargers would be the 2. The Bengals would be the 3. And the Patriots would be the 4. And then the Raiders and Broncos would be the wild card teams, with the Chiefs, Texans, and Ravens all missing out. All right, let's get to the NFC here. Start with the NFC North. Very competitive division. This cat is going to be the death of me. You have the Packers, who are 5-2. The Vikings, who are 5-2, and the Lions, who are 5-2. All very, very good teams. First year head coach in Matt Patricia with the Lions. Minnesota had a really bad season last year, disappointed, but with the two first round picks, they kind of rebuilt their team. They're 5-2 under rookie quarterback Blake Bortles. And then the Packers are the Packers. Obviously, we know what they are. They were Super Bowl champs just a couple years ago. Chicago is 1-6 under head coach Jim Harbaugh. His first year in Chicago was with San Francisco. This team is bad, but they have a franchise quarterback. They just traded Ryan Fitzpatrick, but who they have is Teddy Bridgewater. He was, I think, the second, third quarterback drafted. Really good player. He's been the best rookie quarterback so far, but his team has not been very good. So we'll see what happens if he continues to be good. I just got pen on myself. All right, NFC South, the Saints, Panthers, and Falcons, all really good. See, the NFC I think is better than the AFC, but we'll get into that. See, they have three 5-2 teams here, two 6-win teams, one 5-win team in the NFC South. The Saints, the Panthers, and the Falcons, all very good teams. You know, you have the two-time MVP Matt Ryan, you have new head coach Adam Gase doing wonderful things with Cam Newton, and then you have the Saints who, with Breeze and Peyton, have won a Super Bowl. Buccaneers, Greg Schiano's on the hot seat. They're 1-7. Haven't seen Manziel yet. I don't know if we will see Manziel. There was reports coming out that he could sit his whole rookie season, but I mean they're 1-7. You might as well start playing Manziel. But they've been in some close games. They just got their first win 2 weeks ago. Chad Henne is the guy there, I guess. They don't want Manziel. I guess he's not ready. Can't rush somebody, so maybe Manziel will sit a whole year. NFC East, we have the Eagles, two-time Super Bowl losers, Philadelphia Eagles, in the past 2 years. They are 4-4 atop their division. They just lost. They were 3-0, I want to say. Now they're 4-4, so they need to get some things worked out there. Washington, they were 4-2 just a couple weeks ago, number one in the division. Now they're 4-4, second. They're falling behind. It's not good. Dallas with Ryan Fitzpatrick, he just threw 5 touchdowns in their last week's win against the Titans. And was that against? No, I don't know. But he just threw 5 touchdowns against whoever they played, and all the games are blending together in my head because I just played so many games of Madden, and I'm probably done for the night. They are 3-4. They are a pretty competitive team. You see, their point differential is a lot better than these teams have better records than them. And then the Giants are 2-5. Good team last year. They're a two-time champion under Manning and Coughlin, but it's not looking great right now. Then the AFC West, you have the last undefeated team, the Seattle Seahawks, who are 7-0, number one in their division. They also have the 0-7 Cardinals. The 3-4 49ers under Josh Freeman and Dirk Cutter. And then the Rams, who are 2-5, just got their second win of the year over the Cardinals. Cardinals are 0-7. I think they are the second worst team. I think the Dolphins are worse. I think if they played, the Cardinals would win. I don't know if they do play, but the Cardinals would win. Matt Shaw, Bruce Arians, it's just not doing. It's not great over there. And this would be the playoffs as the season ended today. Seattle and the Saints would be the 1-2 seed. The Packers and Eagles would be the 3-4, and the wild card teams would be the Panthers and the Vikings. So yeah, there's a lot of good teams like the Falcons, Lions, Commanders, all missing out because of how competitive the NFC West is. So that is the standings. I will show just because I want to see who it was against. I don't remember. It was against the 49ers. Yeah, for 42-0. Fitzpatrick threw 5 touchdowns. Excuse me. Here it look at statistics. We're just going to look at statistics as a league. So the passing yard leader is Andy Dalton. Shocking to see. I bet that's shocking. Andy Dalton, like I said, he's having a really good season. RG3, Matt Stafford, Peyton Manning, Phil Rivers, and Aaron Rodgers are all the guys above 2,000. You got Mike Vick, Mark Sanchez, Teddy B. There's Teddy, but he's having a good rookie year. He turned the ball over a lot, but other than that, he's pretty good. You got Matt Ryan, Eli Manning, Chad Henne, Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, Matt Schaub, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, EJ Manuel, Jay Cutler, Alex Smith, Sam Bradford, Josh Freeman, Blake Bortles. Take a look at all that. I don't have to say all their names. See, Andrew Luck. Oh, he just had a 3 touchdown game. That's it used to be 9. There's Jimmy Clausen. You got Ryan Nassib, Tannehill, Skelton, Romo. He's out for the year. You got Tyrod Taylor, who's got in some games. There's Fitzpatrick. There's Big Ben. There's Keith Winning, who got in a game for Kaepernick, got benched, but Winning didn't start. And they're still rolling with Kaepernick. Derek Carr threw 8 passes. Ryan Lindley threw a pass. And Matt Hasselbeck threw 2 passes. Touchdown leader, Matt Stafford, Phil Rivers, Rodgers, and Dalton all above 20. A lot of guys at 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10. No guys with 11. Interceptions, got 3 guys in double digits. Manning, Clausen, Henne, Bridgewater, Palmer, Manuel, Flacco, and Sanchez are all there too. There's Kaepernick, 10 and 6. Best completion percentage is Andy Dalton at 72. He is an MVP candidate. Shockingly enough, this is a different. It's not the Andy Dalton we know in real life. You know, a guy who's just good. This guy is pretty damn good. Look at statistics. He's a pretty damn good quarterback. And he is an MVP candidate. Rushing, LaShawn McCoy is the only guy above 1,000 yards. You got Adrian Peterson. There's Maurice Jones-Drew, who has been on a monster a couple games here. Marshawn Lynch, Jamal Charles, Darren Sproles, Aaron Foster, Mark Ingram, touchdown machine, Doug Martin, Lamar Miller. Got a lot of good guys here. There's a newly acquired Lion, Trent Richardson, Gio Bernard, Reggie Bush, touchdown machine. Got a lot of guys down here. Rushing touchdowns, you got Mark Ingram, Marshawn Lynch, and Amon Bradshaw, top 3 guys. RG3, MVP candidate. I think he's the betting favorite right now because he's 8 rushing touchdowns. It's really impressive. He is the Commanders' leading rusher. You got Kenyon Barber. Receiving, reception leader is Mohamed Sanu with 51. You got Torrey Smith, Greg Jennings, Jermaine Gresham, because the Bengals throw the ball a lot. There's AJ Green. So yeah, you got some guys there. Yards is Calvin Megatron Johnson. Julio's right there. Torrey Smith, Greg Jennings, Demarius Thomas, Victor Cruz, Tavon Austin. Had a really good rookie year. Keem Nicks, the newly signed Seahawk. Brandon Marshall, Jermaine Gresham. There's Gronk, Odell, the rookie. He's having a good year. Get Des Bryant. And then touchdowns is the only guy in double digits. Calvin Johnson, Greg Jennings, and Randall Cobb have 7. Julio and a bunch of other guys have 6. Longest reception, Cecil Shorts III at 94. Run after catch average, Drury Archer. 2 catches, 79 yards. I do remember that. Defensively, the tackle leader, Patrick Willis. Carlos Dansby, Darrell Washington, Manti Te'o was all down there. Tackle for loss is Jarvis Jenkins. Frosty Rucker. Sack leader is currently Von Miller, but you got J.J. Watt, Gerard Mayo, Robert Mathis, Alden Smith, Jadeveon Clowney, the Rook, and JPP, all with 10, all with double digit, 10 plus. Interception leader is Dante Hightower with 5, Ron Parker with 5, Bernard Pollard, Arthur Brown, Robert Alford, Troy Polamalu, Patrick Robinson, Leon Hall, all tied with 3. Kicking wise, Gostkowski has made the most field goals. He's also attempted the most. The worst percentage is Brandon McManus at 58. Yikes. Brett Maher, too. The longest kick was 62 by Connor Barth. But nobody cares about these things, bro. I don't even care when I play the games. Punt return, kick return, yeah, I was going to say there isn't none. So those are the statistics. Team statistics. So we'll start with offense. The best offense is the Eagles, the Bengals, the Lions, the Seahawks, the Packers, the Raiders, the Commanders, the Giants, the Chiefs, and the Broncos are the top 10. See, now you're at like the league average, below average. You get into the bad offenses. The worst offense is the Browns. The best passing offense is the Bengals. The worst is the Titans. The best rushing offense is Philly. The worst is the Jets. Most points per game is the Lions at 33.4, and the least are the Dolphins at 14.3. We just looked at these numbers. So yeah. And then first downs, Bengals, least Titans. Defensively, the best defense is the Bills. The worst are the Eagles. With the Patriots, Cowboys, Jags, Saints, Seahawks, Colts, Lions, 49ers, Texans, Titans, Bengals, Jets, Falcons, Packers, Giants, Ravens. I said Giants twice. Did I say Giants twice? Thought I did. Best passing defense is the Bills, followed by Patriots, and then the Chiefs are the worst, followed by the Eagles. The worst rushing is the Commanders. Wow, it's really bad for the Commanders. And then the best rushing is the Cowboys and Saints and Patriots. The most points allowed are the Cardinals. The least are the Saints. The most sacks are the Colts. The least are the Browns at 9. The most fumble recoveries are the Panthers. The least are the Texans, Giants, Raiders, Falcons, Buccaneers, and Jaguars. The most interceptions are the Bengals with 12, and the least are the Colts with 1. The best third down offense is the Chargers. The worst is the Jags. The best fourth down offense is a couple teams, 100%. Who has the most attempts? The Bucks. And the best two-point conversion, who's the most upset with Miami? Red zone, the best red zone offense is the Texans. The worst is the Dolphins. Who have the least trips is the Titans. The most trips is the Commanders. The least red zone defensive trips are the Bills. The most are the Chiefs. The most touchdowns allowed is the Cardinals. The least are the Bills. The best percentage is the Saints, who are the worst. They allow 94% of the time, while the Raiders only allow 61% of the time, 13 out of 21. Penalties, the most penalties are the Packers, and the least are the Texans. Best turnover differential is the Seahawks, and the worst are the Giants. The weekly awards per the week. We'll just take a quick look at this. There's, you'll see a lot of Andy Dalton. You already saw one Andy Dalton. There's two Andy Dalton. There's a third Andy Dalton. But then we get the MVP race. RG3 currently leads, then Matt Stafford, then LaShawn McCoy, Andy Dalton, Aaron Rodgers, Cameron Newton, Phil Rivers, Mark Ingram, Maurice Jones-Drew, and Peyton Manning. Coach of the year looks like right now would be Pete Carroll. Rookie of the year, we're looking at Bruce Ellington, Devontae Freeman, Sammy Watkins, Brandon Cooks, Donald Moncrief, Marquise Lee. Defensive rookie of the year, Jadeveon Clowney is probably going to run away with that. You got other guys like Teddy Bridgewater, Blake Bortles who could win it. It's gonna be tough to see who ends up winning the award. Calvin, you stupid cat. Yeah. Just a brief league review. Don't want to be too long. We're under half an hour, which is nice. So that is like a week, halfway through every team's records, all the statistics. That's the league review, basically. I'll see you at the end of the season where the next video is. Deuces, brah.